Good off seasons for some teams, bad for others. But who gets the crown for the worst and best?
Hard to supplant the reigning champs when they're set to bring back all 22 starters, including the best quarterback of all time.
Most of the top trade candidates and notable free agents have found new homes. The draft is over. For the majority of NFL general managers, the hard work is done. With the regular season drawing closer, how did all 32 NFL teams fare? It's time to rank every offseason from worst to first, starting with number 32, Houston Texans. The Texans should have had the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft, but they didn't. Thank Bill O'Brien. Limited draft capital sure sucks. The Deshaun Watson trade saga hasn't been resolved. This franchise, it's in trouble. Number 31, Green Bay Packers. The Packers are 31st here simply because of the Aaron Rodgers trade speculation. Sounds like number 12 is fed up and wants out. And in case you didn't know, it's never fun to lose an MVP quarterback. Not to mention that the Pack also lost All-Pro center Corey Linsley in free agency. Number 30, Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders inexplicably moved on from 3 stud offensive linemen in Trent Brown, Gabe Jackson, and Rodney Hudson. They then reached big time for Alex Leatherwood in round 1. Really, what's the plan here? We like the Yannick Ngakoue signing and a few of their picks, but it's not going to be enough to fix a horrible defense. We really don't know what the Raiders' long-term goal is. Number 29, Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers couldn't make any major splashes in free agency because of their cap situation. Losing sack specialist Bud Dupree in free agency hurts. 2 key starters in Alejandro Villanueva and Marquise Pouncey are gone as well. We loved the Najee Harris draft selection, but how much can he produce behind this O-line? Number 28, New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees retired, and the miserable cap situation forced the Saints to move on from impact players in Emmanuel Sanders, Janoris Jenkins, Trey Hendrickson, Jared Cook, and Sheldon Rankins. Most of the core from this star-studded team remains in place, but there's no easy way of replacing all of that lost production. The Saints' big move was retaining Jameis Winston as their hopeful starter. They also need rookies Peyton Turner and Pete Werner to produce early and often if they're going to defend their NFC South Division title. Easier said than done. Number 27, Seattle Seahawks. Reports of a rift between Russell Wilson and Seahawks management played a major role in their low listing here. At the same time, the reigning NFC West champions didn't do much to improve their roster. This is one of the NFL's worst defenses last year, and they lost starters Jaron Reed, Shaq Griffin, and Quentin Dunbar without finding quality replacements. At least they got Gabe Jackson at a bargain price in a trade with the Raiders. Number 26, Tennessee Titans. The Titans overpaid for Bud Dupree in free agency, but they had to do something about their pass rush that recorded just 19 sacks in 2020. The league's 4th worst pass defense from 2020 moved on from corners Malcolm Butler and Adoree Jackson. The Titans can only hope that rookie Caleb Farley can produce right away. Number 25, Carolina Panthers. Carolina's biggest splash was trading for former New York Jets starter Sam Darnold. He replaces Teddy Bridgewater, who was traded to the Denver Broncos. You gotta like Matt Rule's chances of turning Darnold into an established starter. But other than the J.C. Horn selection, Carolina didn't do much to fix a leaky defense. Number 24, Baltimore Ravens. It's undeniable that the Ravens lost more than they gained this offseason. Gone are stud pass rushers Yannick Ngakoue and Matthew Judon, and starting center Matt Skura. The Orlando Brown trade netted a great haul, but he still lost a superstar offensive tackle there. Lamar Jackson might take the next step as a passer if rookie Rashad Bateman and free agent signing Sammy Watkins can get it going there. That's something to look forward to. Number 23, Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys had to use most of their remaining cap space on Dak Prescott's $160 million extension. Dallas' biggest offseason loss was Aldon Smith. Their 2 noteworthy moves were hiring Dan Quinn to replace Mike Nolan as defensive coordinator and drafting do-it-all linebacker Micah Parsons in round 1. A healthy Prescott and a defense that's bound to be better in 2021 probably make the Cowboys the team to beat in the division. Number 22, Buffalo Bills. The Bills added Emmanuel Sanders in free agency, giving Josh Allen another crafty playmaker in the passing game. Their biggest moves came at the draft, with the GM Brandon Beane using his first 2 picks on defensive ends Gregory Rousseau and Carlos Basham Jr. Buffalo won 13 games en route to an AFC title game, so drastic roster changes weren't required. Number 21, Philadelphia Eagles. Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz are out. Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are the new coach and QB in Philly now. Gotta love how GM Howie Roseman accumulated more draft capital by trading down before getting Devontae Smith with the number 10 selection. Now Hurts has a world-class playmaker to work with. This is a rebuilding phase in Philly, but fans have to be encouraged with the early progress. Number 20, Detroit Lions. The Lions will be one of the NFL's worst teams in 2021. That's expected. They swapped Matt Stafford for Jared Goff and picks. They have a brand new coaching staff and front office. They're rebuilding right away. It's a smart plan. Lose a lot in the short term, with the end goal of winning a plenty in the long term. Number 19, Atlanta Falcons. Like the Lions, the Falcons feature a brand new front office and coaching staff. The hope is that head coach Arthur Smith will be able to help Matt Ryan regain his MVP form. And with rookie tight end Kyle Pitts in the fold, doesn't seem so far-fetched. Number 18, Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals lost top corner William Jackson III and pass rushing star Carl Lawson in free agency. They overpaid for Trey Hendrickson, but at least he semi-replaces the void left by Lawson. It's hard not to be excited about the Jamar Chase selection, but we could have liked Penei Sewell more. Number 17, Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's big free agent move was landing all-pro corner Patrick Peterson on a one-year deal. Can Peterson regain his top-notch form under Mike Zimmer? Only time will tell. Many had a home run with a Christian Darrisaw pick. Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook will benefit greatly from his contributions. Number 16, Washington football team. We would have liked to see Washington add a more reliable starter this offseason, but Ryan Fitzpatrick is fine as a short-term option for now. The rest of Washington's offseason was otherwise impressive. They signed William Jackson III to help the league's second-best pass defense from a year ago. Curtis Samuel reunites with Ron Rivera, and he and Terry McLaurin give Washington a superb 1-2 receiving duo. Jamin Davis, Washington's first-round selection, only gave Rivera another slick playmaker in the front seven. Number 15, Denver Broncos. The Broncos did most of their work on defense, retaining Von Miller while signing standout corners Ronald Darby and Kyle Fuller to an already stout secondary. They then added can't-miss Alabama cornerback Patrick Surtain II. It's a pretty good draft pick. You just might be looking at the NFL's best pass defense in 2021. The Broncos are giving Drew Lock one more chance. We love the Teddy Bridgewater acquisition, because at worst, if Lock doesn't pan out, you have a reliable veteran who can take over the offense. Consider the Broncos a sleeper team in 2021. Number 14, Chicago Bears. We really didn't like the Bears this offseason until the draft. GM Ryan Pace and head coach Matt Nagy just might have saved their jobs after trading up to select Ohio State QB Justin Fields with the number 11 selection. Andy Dalton will likely open the season as the starter, but it won't be long until Fields takes over. Did we mention Aaron Rodgers might get traded? If that happens, this could be the happiest offseason in Bears history. Number 13, Indianapolis Colts. Only time will tell if Carson Wentz is fixable. If there's one guy who can do it, it's Frank Reich, his former offensive coordinator in Philly. An elite offensive line and a plethora of skill position playmakers should help. The Wentz acquisition wasn't the only big move. GM Chris Ballard retained 2020 bounce-back product Xavier Rhodes, and he landed former Pro Bowl tackle Eric Fisher on a low-risk, high-reward move. That Kwity Paye selection was a home run. He, Darius Leonard, and DeForest Buckner might lead the league as the best front seven next year. Number 12, Arizona Cardinals. Adding J.J. Watt in free agency and Zaven Collins at the draft will go a long way in bolstering the front seven. That's for sure. A.J. Green, at worst, is a solid complement to DeAndre Hopkins. Oh, and acquiring Rodney Hudson was a giant coup for the Cardinals. Kyler Murray will sure appreciate the improved pass protection. Number 11, New York Giants. The Giants' main goal was to improve the supporting cast for Daniel Jones. They brought in former Lions star receiver Kenny Galladay and veteran tight end Kyle Rudolph in free agency. They landed the crafty Kadarius Toney in round 1 and Georgia linebacker Azeez Ojulari in round 2. Wonderful work by GM Dave Gettleman. There's really no more excuses for Jones. With the stacked group of playmakers around him, it's time to break through. Number 10, Miami Dolphins. Like the Giants, Miami's main priority was to add more weapons for its young quarterback. Signing Will Fuller and drafting Jalen Waddle totally met that goal. Tua Tagovailoa is now in position to enjoy a monster breakout year. Oh, and Miami's stingy defense found a gem in Jalen Phillips with the number 18 selection. The playoffs are a very reachable goal in 2021. Number 9, San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers' big move was moving up to select North Dakota State QB Trey Lance with a number 3 selection. The belief is that Jimmy Garoppolo will open the season as the starter, and that's fine. The 49ers are a contender with either QB. Other than that, GM John Lynch didn't make too many moves. He's wise knowing that with a better roster health in 2021, the 49ers will return to the NFL's elite. They'll be back in the running for a Super Bowl, most likely. Number 8, Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are this high solely because of the Matt Stafford trade. It was clear that they were one QB upgrade away from being a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Mission accomplished. The Rams are arguably the team to beat in the NFC. Stafford is going to have a blast with Sean McVay and this star-studded roster. Number 7, Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert had the best rookie QB season ever. In year 2, he'll have immensely better protection thanks to the additions of Corey Linsley and Rashawn Slater. You gotta love the look of that O-line. GM Tom Telesco kept the bulk of his roster intact. He knows that this is a playoff caliber team, with Herbert and new head coach Brandon Staley leading the way. Number 6, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are not contending in 2021, and probably not in 2022. Doesn't mean their offseason was boring though. In fact, it was arguably the best in franchise history. Only time will tell if Urban Meyer is well suited for the NFL. Taking Trevor Lawrence first overall automatically leads to a high ranking here, as does drafting my boy Travis from Clemson. It's a process, but Meyer's Jaguars are on the right track. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs. GM Brett Veach sure went to great lengths to fix the pass protection for Patrick Mahomes. He cut ties with Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz before signing veteran standouts Kyle Long and Joe Thuney. Veach then gave up a bundle of picks to get Orlando Brown Jr. from Baltimore. The Jaron Reed signing and the draft selection of Nick Bolton give KC much needed pass rushing depth as well. Number 4, Cleveland Browns. Coming off an 11-win season and a long-awaited playoff appearance, the Browns' main priority was to fix their defense. Signing veterans Jadeveon Clowney, Troy Hill, and John Johnson III sure accomplished that goal. GM Andrew Berry wasn't done. He used his first 2 picks on cornerback Greg Newsome II and linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Now the Browns had the makings of a top 5 defense in 2021. Number 3, New York Jets. No, the Jets won't contend in 2021. But it's hard to not love the work of GM Joe Douglas. He rightfully moved on from Sam Darnold and took the chance on Zach Wilson, who has a much higher upside. New head coach Robert Saleh has so many toys on this defense. The Jets added Sheldon Rankins, Carl Lawson, and Jarrad Davis to complement an already stout front 7. Owen Wilson will love fellow rookies Elijah Vera-Tucker and Michael Carter, plus free agent pickup Corey Davis. The Jets' future is bright, for once, and it won't be long until, dare we say, they contend again in the AFC. Number 2, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you do after you win the Super Bowl? Run it back, of course. The defending champions somehow in some way managed to bring back all 22 starters from their Super Bowl 55 team. Oh, and Tom Brady got a 1-year extension. What more could you ask for? A near perfect offseason for GM Jason Light. This is how you repeat. Number 1, New England Patriots. Now the Patriots beat him in something. Bill Belichick re-signed Cam Newton and added 4 quality pass catchers and receivers, Kendrick Bourne and Nelson Aguilar, and tight ends Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. He beefed up a top-notch O-line by bringing back Trent Brown via trade. The usually stingy defense was also bolstered by the signings of Kyle Van Noy, Jalen Mills, and sack specialist Matthew Judon. Belichick also landed his new franchise quarterback in Mac Jones, and a run-stopping machine in Christian Barmore at the draft. The Patriots are, well, back in business. Whoopee. Who do you think had the best and the worst NFL offseason? Join me in the comments section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, or on everything. Go find us, go subscribe, go follow. Of course, subscribe to TPS on YouTube. We post videos every single day. Every day is a new video. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click down below. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knee.